Well, welcome everybody. My name is David Pogue. I'm the founder of Yahoo Tech, and this is a Yahoo Tech Mix, one of the periodic events where I get to interview luminaries in the technical world. Today we are very honored to have the darling of South by Southwest, Mr. Ben Rubin, the creator of Meerkat.
Hey everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Hey guys.
Ben is holding his phone so peculiarly because he is meerkatting this interview, as are we. If you follow our editorial director, Rafe, at @RAFE, you will be able to click live now and see an audience eye view of this interview. So for the 6 people at South by who don't know what Meerkat is, can you explain it, Ben?
So basically, Meerkat mission was to be the live streaming button for Twitter and to enable streams to travel in the speed of a tweet. The team was working for 2 years in the live streaming space. We had an old product called Yahoo. We had 400,000 users. We closed the product. We didn't feel it was pumping in the right way, and the excitement was not there. But as we closed that and we tried to, in retrospective, look what use cases worked and what we learned from that, there was stuff coming like Ferguson and other stuff happening in the Middle East and news event. And we thought that the discovery of live video over the internet is still very broken. And I think that the community in the space and the people and the world will benefit from a frictionless way to consume and to push live video. So we set sail to like 6 different experiments after Yahoo, after we closed Yahoo. And the first one we released was a one-to-many called Meerkat.
Wait a minute, so you have 5 other ideas that you never got to?
Yeah, we started working on one to friends. And the CTO built Meerkat over Yahoo Tech for 8 weeks. And then we put it out there 16 days ago, and we're so thankful for the support and love we get from the community. And 10 days ago, we made a decision to just focus the whole team on Meerkat. And I'm glad we did it, so when all of you are streaming, the streams are not down on South by. Yeah, so it's very exciting.
And tell the folks at home how many months you worked on coding this app.
So the tech of live video, the company is working for 2 years now. The front-end client was built by one person, my co-founder Itai, for 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
Yes, but it's not. Yeah, but it's not fair for all the other great teams that work out there to think that we built that in 8 weeks. Because the whole backend and the thing that streaming the live video was built with a lot of sweat and heart over 2 years to make sure that if you don't have connection, it moves to audio. And if Jared Leto goes live from Russia, 1,500 people can tune in less than 10 seconds. And yeah, so yeah, the way we utilize the technology was built over 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
By one.
All right. All the other developers just went and slit their wrists. I hope you know that.
No.
And 15 days this thing has been out, right?
16 today.
16.
Yeah, this is the 16th day.
This is the 16th day.
Yeah.
And all I know is that as a person in the tech industry, all I'm hearing is Meerkat, Meerkat, Meerkat.
I'm sorry.
Tell us about some of well, you mentioned some of these sites that have already cropped up around the platform.
So I think that what works very good, so what was not working on Yahoo, our old product, is the fact that we didn't understood that there is a habit to unlock here. So what is the habit? All of us know how a camera feels like. What is a picture? What is the standard of a good picture? What does it mean to have a good picture? Because our parents had cameras, and us as kids, we had physical cameras. And when a software substitute came, Instagram, it was a very easy transition because we still had the habit. We knew what is a good picture, what does it mean? In live video, it's something that we all didn't do as we were kids, and it's something that we didn't inherit from parents. And what we learned on Yahoo is that to unlock this habit forming is the key to get the right community to start. And I think that what worked very great in Meerkat, that we were able to unlock this habit in a great community from the get-go. And we were lucky. We didn't plan for that. It sort of happened. And I think that was one of the key, this is the key for the success, that you don't tune in to boring streams. You tune in because the emotional setting of the users right now on Meerkat is, we don't judge if the content is good or not. We only expect the users to ask themselves if this is something exciting to create a shared experience. And if it comes from this place in the heart, or like in how you think, you can build a very good community. And I think that the people that are going live now on Meerkat really believe, and we see that what they do is exciting and should be shared, should be a live shared experience. And this is one of the things we're very grateful and lucky to have.
So let me show you guys, if you haven't done it, what Meerkat is like. I made a video recording of my first stumbling to try out Meerkat, so you can see what it's like. It is not like posting a photo. It's not like posting a video, because it's live. You're looking through other people's eyes, wherever they are in the world right now. It's kind of a mind blower. So can we play that the video? So I went and I did a search for #Meerkat. I didn't know how you find things, and I hit play, and well, this was not an auspicious beginning. It was some 9-year-old in his bedroom, but it was a 9-year-old in his bedroom. That's cool. And
he's not a 9. I know Asher.
No, the first guy. So this was like an evening at South by Southwest. So you'll see a lot of night scenes here, and there's audio actually too. Okay, this is someone's South by party. You can see who's watching this live feed with the icons at the top, and there's comments. So here's me clicking somebody else.
That may have been taken in that general vicinity to help them fill in the blanks.
All right,
what kind
she
of
was
information
playing,
would they
what
be
do you call
looking
that?
for? What could they be
I don't know. I'm very bad at this game.
Narrow the scope of their case.
Well, right now,
I noticed that they're
in the video you're seeing
Yeah.
is that it's
that's South by.
out
Yeah.
on the street, the main fluorescent street, where the police officers were
and then-
standing.
So this is interesting. This is somebody at a sports game somewhere in the world. So suddenly I'm there. I'm there in the audience as this guy watches soccer.
The shooting occurred.
That's not the right audio, but would you all shut off your damn phones? So I noticed, first of all, that they're all vertical. Why is that?
So I think that live video should be on the go, should be consumed on the go. And because one of the things that make live streaming happen now is because people are able to consume it on the go. And they're able to contribute content on the go and consume the content on the go. And on the go means mobile. And mobiles is, at least Snapchat, which is an amazing company, proved that mobile is vertical. And even though I'm a huge believer that, in horizontal video, because this is how our eyes built horizontally, I think that the way we consume is on our hand, and the default for that, the easy habit for that is vertical. And even though we'll let you rotate the UI, most of the use cases are on vertical.
I should admit to you that I've been on a lifelong campaign to tell the idiots of the world to stop filming videos vertically. I mean,
Yeah.
I have my name on this cause, right?
So,
But
logically, you're absolutely right.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Emotion or habit, emotionally or habitly, I don't know how to say it, we are accustomed to hold the phone like that.
Right.
And if we expect you to contribute content or consume content in the most frictionless way possible, we have to start with that as a default. And I think that in every consumer product, defaults are the most important thing. The defaults, the devil is in the defaults. And yeah, so I absolutely agree, and I share in the same views about horizontal video. But I think that our mission is greater. As I said earlier, to unlock the habit, you need to make it very easy for the people to contribute. One of the things is vertical.
And I should admit, as I sit here thinking about it, the reason I'm so adamant about horizontal video is because we usually watch the video on something that is horizontal. A TV, a laptop, YouTube, they're all horizontal, and that's the reason. But if the viewing device is the same as the recording device and they're both vertical, then who cares?
Yeah, and our web experience is totally shitty right now. We need to fix that. But
Well, you're only 27. You have a lot of coding ahead of you. Could you shoot Meerkat horizontal if you wanted to?
Yeah, but it will still stay vertical from some stupid reasons.
Come on, dude, you've had 8 weeks. Why isn't it finished?
Yeah, but we'll work on that. The UI will accommodate the consumption experience, but how it will save will not be good. So we're gonna work on that.
So can you blow our minds with some facts and figures? How many people downloaded? How many people are meerkatting right now?
So there's, just yesterday, I think we crossed the 100,000 users, 120. Oh, thanks. Thank you, guys. Thank you. What's very exciting to see is that the impressions of the links are over the hundreds of millions. And another thing is that more than 20% of the people who watch more than 2 hours a day, accumulative.
Wow.
8% watching more than 3 hours a day, 4% watching more than 4 hours a day. I know that logically doesn't make sense. Our gut tells us that it's true because we see the numbers, but we checked it over and over, and I'm still sure something is fucked up with, something is not good with this number, sorry. But we checked it, and this is the number, and we work with Mixpa, which is an amazing analytics company. But it seems like people are genuinely excited, and we're very thankful for that.
As you arrive at South by, which is famous for launching historic platforms, Twitter was born here, right? So have you found yourself to be picked at by everybody? Oh, you're the guy! Is that happening a lot?
I think that so 2 weeks ago, we started getting this huge support from the tech community and the pop culture community. We really hugged the product and evangelized it. And we made a decision a week ago to come here and just show our faces. There was no agenda, there's no booth, there's nothing, just us and friends of the company just come in here and just meet and greet everyone and say hi and show our faces and say thank you. And I think that what's important that to acknowledge that the community exists and the community is loving, and we need to, we really love that, and we really want to show that, we want to thank everyone for doing that. So South by made sense because everybody's going to be here, so you can just walk and say thank you to all the people that evangelized it in the first place, and just I think it's important to say, hey, thank you for supporting, thank you for making this happen, and yeah.
And there's been tons of articles, right? I mean, you've seen just everybody's writing about this.
Yeah.
One of two things could happen, right? You could be the next guy who sells to Facebook for $2 billion. You could be the next Instagram or something. Or you could be something that was really popular at South by in 2015, and then people move on.
Yeah, that definitely could happen. And that's how product works, right? Product is defined not by the amount of articles written about it. It's defined by how meaningful the impact it creates and how it evolves the way people think, use it, and help it and utilize it to make a difference. And it's not about selling, it's not about the articles, it's about whether the next event that this thing can be really meaningful. We've seen the Secretary of Commerce doing a swearing in real time. We've seen BBC reporters going to the Ferguson event this Thursday. And I think that there's something very powerful and honest in the medium.
These were all things that were meerkatted?
Yes.
You saw an official swearing?
This
Oh,
word.
I thought you meant.
Am
you said,
I?
oh, okay, never mind.
I'm sorry, I'm from Israel. My accent is completely broken.
No. The word
No.
is correct. It has
No.
two meanings. Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind
Yeah,
of
swearing. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
The Secretary of Congress was not swearing on.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, the governor of Florida was live. We see more and more use cases that I think makes live video interesting again. Even small niche use cases like a real estate agency doing an apartment showing in the Upper East Side and it takes 42 people to see one bedroom in $1,800 a month, just so they won't need to come and go and put all the people in.
Somebody did that?
Yes.
That is a great idea.
Yes.
Wow.
There's church worship services. Yes, live on Meerkat. I think that, besides the excitement of just pressing a button and see people coming in, there is so many ways to take this, to take content beyond consumption one way to a way where you completely dissolve the line between content initiator, or what we call broadcaster, to the watchers. Like how do we, bless you, how do we completely dissolve the line between watcher and a broadcaster? How can people participate in a content? And what does it mean for the medium to be a place when watchers not just consume one way, but actually take place in the content?
It seems like some of this is stuff that Google Glass people were talking about originally. Like, you're seeing what I see, except that the difference is billions of people have phones, right? The scale of broadcasting your real live world to the rest of the world is immense. So when you sign up for Meerkat, how do I find things to watch?
So right now it's very limited, and we acknowledge that because there is a lot of work to do in discovery. We're already starting to put like by, restreamed by, commented by, to make sure users are exposed to more and more content. We had a lot to do in that. And the whole question about what is discovery in real-time platform, right? What does it mean? I feel that the team has very good answer for this, and we're going to show that in the very soon period of time.
Oh, you're not done yet?
No. There's a lot to do. A lot to do in this space. Yeah.
So one complaint that I have and that I've heard from other people is every tweet announcing a live Meerkat stream begins with live now and then a link. But the problem is after they're done broadcasting, it's not live now anymore and it just says you missed it.
Yeah.
So there's no way to go back and see something you missed, right?
So the idea behind it is not to cater to ephemerality. If we go back to the beginning of this conversation, we talked about unlocking the habit. And how do we make sure all the people that sit here feel comfortable to go live the first time, to live stream. And to do that, we wanted to make sure that you control the content after it was posted. Because live video brings a lot of great feelings that we can utilize, like drama, anticipation, unpredictability, uncertainty. There is a whole range of feelings that is yet to be dealt with by social networks. And if we want you to take just a little step outside your comfort zone and say, you know what, I'm going to do it live, we want to make sure that you control the content after that. So we decided not to let the content stay there, but to let you save it on your phone. And I think it's very important, at least in the very first steps of the company, to make sure that even our moms and our aunts and people that usually you won't see just like posting stuff to everywhere, feel comfortable to press that button and stream the grandson soccer game in a Sunday afternoon, and to when there's a good conversation within friends to just stream it live. I think there's a very beautiful moment that could be excellent when they are, and magical when they happen live, and there's a conversation not just between the people that are there, but the people that are consuming not in the physical world. And we want to make sure that people actually trust the platform that it will not expose if something that was not in there. So trust is something that is super important.
But I buy your argument that there is
I'm
something.
not selling that. That's what we believe.
that there is something magical about its being ephemeral.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't see it, you missed it. It's like in the old days, you'd gather around the water cooler and say, did you see I Love Lucy last night? It was fantastic. There was no VCRs, there was no YouTube. If you missed it, you missed it. And there was something cool and experiential if you were the one who caught it. So it's like Twitter is 140 characters. And a lot of people said, that's so stupid. Why limit it? But no, that's what made Twitter Twitter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So speaking of Twitter, the media has depicted your story like this. Here comes Ben Rubin with this fantastic app, 15 days, becomes the talk of the nation, and then like yesterday,
2 days ago.
2 days ago, Twitter comes by with a hammer and smashes your brains in and says, we're locking you out of our APIs, you're dead. So,
this is not what exactly happened.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to be rude. It's
no, I'm
like,
saying that's what the media wants us to tell.
So what Twitter did, they blocked our access to their social graph. It doesn't mean that you cannot do the main mission that we try to do, that you want to push one button, stream live video to your followers, and make live video travel in the speed of a tweet. The idea behind jumpstarting the community on Twitter was something that we wanted to do, but we never hoped to build a graph on top of Twitter. Like, we knew that we were going to be growing this up.
And when you say graph and social graph.
So graph means how does a user choose what content he wants to see and be subscribed to.
Okay.
And there is an interplay that we did with Twitter right in the beginning to make sure, because we saw the community on Twitter and we said, all right, we need to unlock the habit. Who are the people who will be inclined more to stream live video to their followers? And the community that sits on Twitter made more sense to jumpstart the community. So we definitely knew that Twitter will be upset in some point. We didn't know that they were buying another company in the space, and that will be much earlier than we thought. But it's very important for us for people to know that the main experience is still there. People are still getting pushed with live video. It's just a little bit more hard for us to build a community around people, new users, but we already started to work on that, and we already put some magic solutions around that. They're not perfect at all, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be completely out of this thing. So it's not a hammer. It's more like slowing us down a little bit. But we're lucky that Twitter was very nice to us. Like they worked with us very closely about making sure that, how in every tweet is a Twitter thread and all their comments are replies. This was something that was foreign to their anti-spam mechanism. So they helped us in removing that. They were very respectful. And I understand them completely. They worked very hard. I read the book. They worked very hard to build a graph. And if they have something coming in the space, it says two things. One, that they're a very smart company, that they're buying companies in the live streaming space, and they see the future. Two, that it's their house eventually. And we need to respect that. And we need to be the best guest there is. And the community already proven that we can grow this graph very quickly to outside. But the main experience is still there. You can still tweet live video, still have all your followers watching, and stream can still travel in the speed of a tweet.
So I've read all the articles and I've just heard your explanation. I still don't quite understand what the change in Twitter's policy has done for you. So
there's no change in Twitter policy. The policy of Twitter is that you can have the graph, but you cannot resell it, and you cannot use it in a competitive way. What we didn't know, that we were competing against them because we didn't know that they bought a company in the space. So they call it internal policy, which is kind of funny, but because what is internal policy? policies should be external when you're working with developers. But having said that, it just proved how significant Meerkat become, and it's definitely within their right.
Right. So, but the practical effect has to do with who you're connected up with when you sign on, or something.
Inside of Twitter, yes, inside of Meerkat. So, new user would be able to watch streams through their Twitter, and once they watch it, they will be able to subscribe to that person, and instead of us doing it automatically. And very soon we will introduce a way to find other users and recommend you other users. So it just a little slow down.
Right, a speed bump, we might say.
Speed bump,
yes.
yeah.
And so you've referenced Twitter buying a rival in this space, right? So there's another live streaming.
So we don't look at it as a rival because the medium is very, very small right now. The whole thinking behind live video as a way for live stream and the fact that it can be done now, I think that we're in the beginning of a decade that is going to be very exciting about what we call participatory media. So there's a lot of verticals going in virtual reality and a lot of verticals going with the live video. And this is not, put Meerkat aside. Let's say Meerkat does not exist. There's not going to be a binary win here. There's not going to be a one player. It's going to be a lot of interesting verticals and a lot of smart teams working on creating an amazing shared experience over live video, over participatory media. And we're going to see a lot of exciting stuff going around that. So we don't look at it as a rival. In fact, we're very, very happy to see a very big company doing steps in that direction. Yeah.
But you would be happier if it had been you, right?
No, I'm very happy that they have their own agenda because
they paid $100 million for this other live streaming company, right?
Yeah, of course, but it's a decision made within Twitter with Twitter's agenda. We are lucky to have our own agenda, right? And how we, for working more than like 2.5 years in this space, we have our own agenda, our own beliefs. What we want to do. So we are very lucky to be independent and outside and pioneering this agenda. Because there's a lot of stuff that we think differently than Twitter, but I'm very glad that we shared the same in agreement that this is going to be exciting.
Is there anything to stop you from either using Facebook as another meeting platform or starting your own network like Instagram or something?
So we're definitely going to start our own network. We're already starting to decouple the graph. Yes. Wow. And there are a lot of interesting stuff going on with Facebook to explore. Posting to Facebook on the wall, on the feed is something that is not relevant to live video because only 12% of what you post to Facebook, only 12% of your friends on Facebook will see the post in the next 24 hours. So it's kind of, yes. So it's kind of irrelevant for live medium.
Right.
But there are other stuff that Facebook can allow you in terms of distribution that is going to be very interesting.
So going back to the idea of being able to rewind and see something that's already gone by, you indicated that part of this is an educational process, making people trust and feel secure and get used to the idea. But once we're over that, is there any reason philosophically you wouldn't want to have archived video streams?
Once we're over that, no, there's no philosophical argument against that.
So it might happen someday?
Once my aunt is streaming, that will be a good indication of start thinking about those stuff.
Hurry up, lady! So let's talk a little bit about how you got to this point. So you grew up in Israel, and at some point you came here.
Yeah. So what we did, we had this idea. We started building the MVP. We raised some money in Israel. We came here to Austin 2 years ago for an accelerate program called Dream It Ventures. Steve is here. The idea behind coming here for an accelerate program was, how do you, we're a bunch of Israelis and we have our own culture and the way we think about stuff. And I think that what we tried to do in coming here was more about like getting our mind to understand the market from 0 to just 1. There is so much to learn, right? But just not be totally ignorant about that. And I think that Rubin did a good job in helping us to kind of understand that. And then what happens is that we started building relationships here and started understanding the market more. So the dev team came to Israel, back to Israel. We built the whole developer team is in Tel Aviv, and we have a community team in San Francisco. So the company is basically based and makes decisions in San Francisco, and we have an amazing talent in Israel that is working on that. So.
And as a little boy, were you a painful nerd? I mean, were you always
painful nerd? I think I was very naughty. I think I'm making a lot of, not this kind of naughty. I was just, I was doing a lot of stupid stuff in the high school, like.
But were you into coding and taking?
No, I don't code. I've studied architecture.
Really?
Yeah, like buildings architecture. So I really love to look at like Myconian culture and how they decided to build it in a certain way. So you will have a ritual when you get in, and you feel like there is there's so many cool stuff that you can learn about. The first product ever made was a roof, a shelter, right? So stuff that you can learn with architecture is that how to train your mind to think about what is the form that follows the function, and what is the scheme of functions that you want a building to have or a thing to have, and how it relates to the things around him, and what it's supposed to do, and why is it good. And then what architecture studies allows you to do is just like to train your mind into think about something, put it on a small MVP or like just a little miniature model, and start having a discussion with you and other very smart classmates about why a door should be here, and why this should be that color, and why this should be that height. And I think that a lot of these discussions are not translated, but are correlated or we have the same discussion about product design. So, for example, I mentioned them, like the Myconian culture, they had, when you were going into a shrine, you would get in, and then there is a wall right after you go in, and then you need to take right, and then left, and then you get in. It's very weird, right? Why wouldn't a door let you in right away? And looking and learning that, you understand that they wanted to create this ritual that stops you and let you think and understand that you're getting into somewhere that is sacred. And something interesting about that is also how do you onboard users, right? What is the moment when a user stops and think about where he's entering to, and what kind of experience they're supposed to be expected to get? Like what is the expectation set of the users? The Egyptians do the same thing with the Hypostiliades halls. So on the Nile, they have the pyramids, and they will build, like, a king would die, and they will ship it on, they will put they will mummy, how do you say it?
Mummify?
Mummify the king, they put him on a boat, and they go on the Nile, and then from the Nile there is a series of building going in one direction, and there is a ritual going all the way till the place where they bury him. And one of the things is in Hypostilian Hall. It's a hall that has one door, it's huge, and there's a lot of
Pillars?
Pillars, a lot of pillars, like thousands of pillars, and it looks like the possibilities are endless. And there is one direction, but when you go to this direction, you feel as a user of the building, the possibilities are endless. And I think that there is so much to learn about the way people learned about what it is to build this kind of products, because this is where the deep thinking of a product went in the ancient days. Like, there was other products, but the deep thinking was there. Today we have deep thinking of everywhere. And I think it's exciting to explore, and learn about that. I think I learned a lot from that. Yeah.
So you basically didn't have anything to do with writing Meerkat.
I basically had nothing to do. It's all
I'm interviewing the wrong guy.
You're meeting the wrong guy.
No,
You're
so
meeting the wrong-
you designed it, or it was your concept, or?
So I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company. So my job is to make the hard decisions and to be where the problem is. So when we had Yahoo, Yahoo is the old product that we first did in the live video space. And when we had Yahoo, we had a nice growth of like 400,000 users. We don't believe in buying downloads. We don't believe in paying someone to use. But there was no excitement there. Like we would see that people would start in the beginning to be excited, not like we see today, very small. And then they would go away, and people would naturally, like they didn't really understand what to do, why they should live stream, what to do there. And we had to make a decision whether we continue this rabbit hole of creating more features and trying to change this design, or to just put an end to that, just call bullshit on ourselves and say, this is not working. And we went to the investor and said, guys, this is not working. We're going to close the product. We're going to send an email to 400,000 users, say, this is not working. And we're going to surround ourselves with good product people. One of them is James, who's sitting here, James Courier from Google Labs, one of the smartest people I know, and one of the reasons he changed the way the team thinks. And what we did, kind of after mid-2014, we said, all right, we're going to close Yahoo. We're going to take everything we learned from what it is to activate a watcher, to activate a broadcaster, what's working on onboarding, should a user should feel when they're streaming, what it means to be comfortable when you're streaming. And we're going to put all the use cases and all the learnings we have on a table, and we're going to create this series of like six experiments. And one experience was one-to-friend, and the first two was one-to-friends and one-to-many. And the first thing we wanted to build is the one-to-friends. So we started working on that, and I said, it would be interesting to build the opposite, the 180 degrees of the one-to-friends. Like, how would it look like? As a product exercise to make sure that we build the right one-to-friends product, how the evil sister or the evil brother would look like of that product. And then we started exploring that, and ultimately, the whole team was around it in the mind of like how to think about that. But who coded it was my co-founder Itai, and who thought about the animal was my co-founder Uri, who managed the other product of the one-to-friends, and I was making just the decisions of the product after we initially made this, put this structure or spec.
Right.
Yeah.
So Meerkat is free.
It's free, yeah.
Streaming the video is free.
Yeah.
It's unlimited.
Yep.
I don't see the business model here.
So we do. We see the business model. We
You
just
do?
don't. Yeah. Yeah. So you raise more money and it's all good. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So we think that if we create a meaningful experience, and if we really make an impact, the way to monetize on that in a way that users feel that it's part of the experience, it's very interesting, and we think that we already starting to see, like, we see how brand interact with it. I don't know if you've seen Red Bull use it or American Idol. I think there's a lot to unlock in this space.
They are using Meerkat?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
What are they doing with it?
So Red Bull was live, I think every day they're live, streaming from their ice skating.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
How
very
many
cool.
people can watch?
It was actually on my presentations on Yahoo. It was like my dream. It was like hey, and Red Bull can do this, and suddenly you do that, and they are doing that. It's kind of crazy.
How many viewers can tune in at once?
I think that they have in the last stream, I'm not sure if that's them, but they had like 700 people watching. I'm not sure. Miami Dolphins used it, and they have 1,100 people watching.
Wait, so we all know that cable TV is getting chopped into smaller and smaller channels, right? There's now a golf channel for left-handed nuns. You know, I mean, it's like narrow and narrow. So could you see a day when broadcasters use this for hyper-narrow broadcasting of every event?
So this is how I see broadcasting networks. Broadcasting networks are a very professional teams that's supposed to develop, execute, and frame content to large audience. It has nothing to do with the infrastructure or the screen is going to be. And I think that's the way that we think about it. And you know, we've seen CNBC using Meerkat and CNN using Meerkat. So I think it's going to be exciting. Because the moment you detach yourself as a team who works on how do we provide the best content and develop the best content for a large audience, and if we have an interest to do it live, the moment we attach it from what infrastructure or screen it's supposed to be, I think the possibilities are endless, especially in a very social world, social digital world.
I mean, me too. I mean, it seems like this or its descendant could be where broadcasting or video live things are going. It could be someday there's hundreds of thousands of channels. You know, I'd like to tune into the the quarterly estimate report shareholders meeting of Avis Rent-A-Car right now. I mean, it could be anything.
So we're already doing this, right? Because look at Twitter. Twitter, there's 300 million channels. Every user is a channel.
Right.
We're already consuming bits in text. And I think that when you look at it on the long term, if everybody gets to not just consume the content but participate in it, it's not only challenging the concept of what it is multi-channels, it also challenged the concept of what is content. What is a content when I can change it in real time? What is an interview with a president means when 30,000 people are here and they're asking questions?
Oh my God.
Right? I think that we can take it to very interesting places.
So if you were paying attention to the Meerkat stream you're sending right now,
361.
361 people are watching.
Yeah, that's more than here, I think, or that's like here, right?
Are you
it's
insulting
great.
our promotion?
No. I'm just saying that there is certain amount of people that can make it here today.
Yeah, right.
And have this awesome presence.
Yeah.
And there are people that couldn't make it and
Right.
have less, but also good experience from my point of view.
Right.
It's a different point of view. It's a different kind of experience.
But what I'm saying is, if you were to read the comments right
Here,
now,
you hold it.
Oh yeah. Let's see
Cool.
what you look like, for God's sake. 40 of them just quit.
That's good.
You should have dressed up. No, what I'm saying is, if they were all saying, "Dude, you're showing too much of Pogue," or angle it up a little more, like you could obey, right?
Yeah, I want to be this president, somebody says.
That's cool. Fantastic. So we have some questions submitted by Twitterites, and then as soon as we're done with these, if you guys have any questions, we're up for it. I have this question too. Tony Q wants to know, what's the back-end infrastructure? In other words, how are you doing it?
So the team worked on we own all our tech. Like we build our own media servers. A bunch of very talented people in Israel built this over a lot of time.
How big is this company?
11 people.
11 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in today's standards, you can do a lot of stuff with 4 people even. You know, there is the possibilities on the virtual world are really endless. And I think that everyone who has an idea and a statement that he really believes in should go and do that, because you can do a lot with 2 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What enhancements are coming? Will you add the ability to add sponsors to broadcasts?
No, we don't think about that right now at all. But it's an interesting question.
But you think about the enhancements, though.
About what?
New features.
Yeah, of course, obviously, all the time.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of features to do and only this amount of time.
Right. What's top of your list?
Yeah, the trick is what to cut, like what not get in. And this is like the scariest questions of all.
Yeah.
Like, what will be in the next version? So obviously, if I'm going back to our beginning of the conversation about Twitter, and we need to now provide users a way to discover more people, and search more people. So that's obviously one of our top priorities.
Backstage, we were talking about the flip camcorder. Remember this? So like 100
Why
something.
everybody's saying, yeah, I didn't know what it is.
In America, it was a big thing. It was they had, by the time Cisco bought them and killed the product, they had 45% of the camcorder market. I mean, it was a little plastic thing with one button. You just picked it up, you hit, there's no tapes, there's no menus, no lens cap. One button, your baby starts doing something cute while you're driving. You just reach in the glove compartment and go like that, and you're recording the baby, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Where did
And
it
I had
go?
a meeting with the guy who ran Flip right before they were acquired by Cisco, and what he told me was their next killer feature was live streaming. It was this idea, but it was 5 years ago.
Why
and then
didn't they do it?
Well, because Cisco bought Flip for $500 million and then laid everybody off and killed it.
So you see why we should not sell?
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Okay, so why is it called Meerkat? How did you come up with the idea to use Twitter as the platform?
So it's called Meerkat because my co-founder Uri thought about, well, the Latin word is suricata. So he thought it would be, before we thought about what it's going to be, just as an animal, that after we decided to shut down Yahoo, we thought about like ideas of like how the brand should look like. He thought that the suricata, which is meerkat in English, would be an interesting animal because the brand will be taking itself not too seriously, because these animals are going around in colonies and they just pop in, every time something happens, they just all pop in their head and looking. And the brand will be mocking itself because it says every time something happens, everybody will stick their head out and watch and be alerted. And then Jacob, who's the designer, just like took this animal and made this beautiful, I think it's beautiful
T-shirt.
T-shirt, beautiful logo, and that's why it's called Meerkat.
I love that. It's not like most of these names that they just come up with because no one's registered it yet. I mean, there's some thought into that. I like that.
Thank you.
Do you regret building something on someone else's platform now that Twitter is trying to kill it?
No, I think that we need to acknowledge the fact that we would not be sitting here unless Twitter, and we need to be grateful for that. I think that it's very important that, I think that it might even turn, we don't know, but maybe the fact that they escalated our decision making a little bit further might do something very good for the early stages of the platform. We don't know yet, maybe,
right.
But I'm very grateful for Twitter to allow us to jumpstart our vision on their platform.
Right, fantastic. We touched on this, but because I'm usually behind on reading my Twitter feeds, Meerkat streams are closed by the time I click on them. Help.
Yeah. So that's part of the experience.
Yeah.
You need to be there because the experience that we believe in is a shared presence experience. And what we see over time is that people that actually get exposed to this experience understand it and coming back.
Great.
So I'm sorry that the first few streams they missed, but it's really different when it's there and it's live.
That's right. And the last one from Twitter, what is it taking internally to handle all this usage? Your systems must be nearly on fire.
They're actually not. They actually, because we had 2 years to build them, they're actually doing very fine. They're chilling.
But how are you, so the video quality is very good.
Thank you.
How is that possible? From a phone to a phone?
Yeah. So the team operates under two assumptions. One, always reconsider, and the other is that ego is the most expensive thing. And why it's related? Because being in this space for a couple of years, I've seen a lot of product managers of live streaming app making a decision that based on them sitting in the room with 2 devices and want to use a technology that has 0 delay. I want my live streaming product to have 0 delay. And then, can you hold it for a second?
Mm-hmm.
And then they do this. They sit and they think like, I'm going to build a live video platform. And then they do this, and then they wait to see that. And they're like, my product is going to be with 0 delay. And I think that what the decision that we made is a decision that says our product consciously is not going to be with 0 delay. It's going to be 10-second delay. It's going to be using a protocol that's called HLS. It's going to have this kind of encoding, which is H.264, and it's going to have 10-second delay. And the reason we're going to do it, because we want people to drive and stream. We want to move to audio when you don't have a good connection. We want to keep the audience warm if you get a phone call and then get you back. We want to make sure that we can onboard tens of thousands of users to your phone in real time in less than 10 seconds. And we want to make sure that everybody gets a magical experience when they slide to open and boom, there is a high quality video there. So we decided to say, you know what, there's going to be delay, and it's going to be 10-second delay, but that's good, because this is how one-to-many platform should be. This is the technology that should be. And that's why we mean like that's an ego-less decision that says we're going to have this caveat, but we think that's better.
So you speak English, Hebrew, and Latin.
Yeah.
Caveat is Latin.
Oh, okay.
We have time for a couple of questions from you, the live audience. Yes, sir. You know what? We're bringing you a microphone because we can't hear yet. Try it again. It will be on. It's a 10-second delay. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, the on button gets you every time.
That's kind of akin to my first Meerkat experience, which was kind of like my dad using the VCR for the first time. You know, I had 5 people watching a coffee cup. It was great. Congratulations. I mean, you're going to change so many different things. You know, broadcasters, TV shows are going to be like, what's this going to do with copywriting and like whatever, but like that's for them to figure out. What's your language? What's your adjective? We just broadcast the Withings Britney fitness class today, but I didn't know what to call it. Am I meerkatting it? Am I meercasting it? Did I just meerkat? What's the language you're using?
It's what we want it to be. It's whatever you choose to call it. That's what we want to be. I like the idea of meerkatting, but it's for you to own, not for us.
That's great. Well, congratulations. I'm really excited about this product.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the live audience? Can you bring the microphone to him? And in the meantime, what are those clever website names that have cropped up?
Oh, there is some cool people that like kind of build something to help people discover. Meerkatstreams.com.
Meerkat Streams.
It's not ours. They just build a website to discover stream. Meerkat Streams, Meerkatch.com.
That's so good.
WatchMeerkat.com. And there's another 2 that just came recently.
And these have all cropped up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, people. There is a studio name. There's Meerkatstream.com, which is like the most prolific discovery platform for meerkats. Was built by a studio named Glow. Super cool people. They reached out. They said, "Yeah, of course, do whatever you want." And it's very interesting to see their platform.
Wow.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Maybe if it's meerkatting and meeting, we could call it like murking.
Marking?
Murking, like twerking.
Oh.
But it's murking? Okay, anyway, my question is, do you think you're always going to have it when people comment inside the Meerkat stream that it's going to Twitter? Or are you going to ever take that out?
The way we set it up, the reason we set it up like that, because we know from the live streaming space that there's a lot of trolling. There's a lot of trolling, and there's a lot of when the watchers and the broadcasters, when their personal brand is on the table, everybody plays nice. And it's very important to be committed to the quality of the content. And that's why I think that the quality of the content that's being transmitted through our platform is in a different level of conversation I don't know if it's better or not, but I feel like the people are playing very nice because the personal brand is on the table.
If you're going to keep that, is there any way that when you do the comment that you could put a link to the, because like if I'm commenting on this, like on his right now,
Yeah.
it's going to send out a tweet, but then people just see this conversation without knowing what it looks like.
They
It's
see it as a reply to the thread.
well,
to the
because
Twitter
like I
thread.
saw Kevin Rose and Gary Vaynerchuk were going back and forth yesterday, and I was like, what? I was trying to figure out what the Twitter conversation was, and really what it was Kevin Rose commenting on the Meerkat
Of Gary's.
of Gary's, and so but it took several tweets to realize that.
So I'm trying to understand if there's a bug or it just like you.
No, it's
you're
not
giving-
necessarily a bug, I'm just-
It showed it as a reply to the thread, to the live stream thread, or it didn't show it at all.
No, it just said, from Kevin Rose at Gary V, and then a comment, and so I was like, well, this is weird
that-
because I didn't see Gary V tweet something.
Well, that might be a bug.
Okay.
I need to look at it.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be a reply to a thread, like any other reply for a thread.
If you want to offer stock options for me debugging, I'm down with that.
Okay, no problem.
All right, and one last one right here, and then will you be able to stay for 5 minutes afterwards to answer other questions?
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
so if you have leftover questions, let Ben know.
Hey, how are
Ben,
you?
welcome to Austin, and thanks for making a great app.
Thank you.
One of the things that
What's
I
your
find is that holding the phone for a long time is very strenuous. Maybe you can have some Meerkat swag that you can kind of, hold the phone in hat or something like that.
Yeah, Meerkat swag sounds awesome. We have everybody's asking for T-shirts, and we brought some in, and we spread everything like everyone got their T-shirts. So we put something with non-profit like $10 shirts on Teesprings, so everybody can order. But it sounds cool to support this thing, the experience in a hardware kind of stuff, but I think that we need to really be focused right now on the product. So if you want shirts, they are on Teespring for like $10 for everyone. Already sold like 300 people bought them, so I think community is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is, and thanks for the community you've made. So thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for watching online.
Thank you.
And thanks to Ben Rubin and his visionary, amazing app. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much.